preposterous.
All right, headlines at 5. We got some important stuff coming up. I think this is the most important. We're getting ready for the hot dog eating contest. It really is the week of the year. It's on the 4th, noon for the men. The women, I think, kick off at 10:45. This is all that's Eastern time. So it's 9 and 7:45 our time. So I've noticed, I was doing some research for it. I'm like, all right, let me see the list of contestants. I'm like, man, it's the same people every year. Like, where are the new entries? Because meanwhile, I don't know how much action you get with like food, competitive food influencers and people doing these contests at different places. Hey, eat this and you get a $100 gift card, or no, only 3 people have done it. You get $1,000 for eating 11 pounds of food. There's a lot of people doing it, right? And I just keep seeing the same people in the freaking contest. There's like no one coming up to challenge Joey Chestnut. Mickey Sudo, the women's champ, has even less competition. I don't want to kill this lady, but there's a lady, Mary Bowers, who I think's qualified here a couple of times. Like she's been on the contest like 7 times. I think her career high for 10 minutes is like 12 hot dogs. Like, how is she still in the contest?
Pathetic.
It's weird. So I found, and a lot of people watch this lady, by the way, including Dan Helly. I don't know if you heard yesterday, we had on the Power Slap announcer, Dan Helly. Okay. And Dan, I had tweeted about Raina Huang, right? Who's a competitive eater and, pretty thin lady, nice looking lady, but she can just, I don't know where she puts it. She just eats and eats and eats and does all these challenges. And even Dan came out and he's like, wow, I went down a rabbit hole on Raina's account. It's pretty impressive.
Every day she's posting from some restaurant where she's just crushing food.
Now, she did tell us that's an illusion, that she's not out every day, that she kind of times it. So there's like a bunch at one time. So, So anyway, we kind of got into like the whole thing, like where's she from? She's here all the time. But she's fascinating. The food she eats is just incredible. Kind of, like Chestnut's he's not a fat guy. He's a big guy. He's probably 6'1" and, 190 pounds, 200 pounds. Some of the women, like Mickey's pretty decent size. She's not big. But some of the women, like the Black Widow, Sonia Thomas, was like 90 pounds. Yeah. And she's like, hot dog. You're like, what the hell's going on? So this is the next generation. Like Raina Huang's crazy. So the night before, the day before we booked her, I had told Willie, I'm like, hey, look at some video here. I'm going to try the Vest booking crew is going to try to grab her. And I also showed him her other specialty is the 1-bite sausage, the 1-bite hot dog, where, she will chug down. These are massive sausages. And it's just like, whoop, it's gone. So we're doing the interview. We're getting all this good information. I'm trying to break a story here with MLE, which I'll get to, put some pressure on the Shea brothers. And then Willie comes out with this.
I want to go out to eat with you.
Oh, wait a second.
But I don't know if I want to eat as much as you. Here's the thing. I can bring the business credit card, but what am I looking at for a bill depending on where we go? Because, I don't mind paying for dinner, but are guys intimidated to take you out? Because, I would be like, well, wait a minute. How much is she going to order?
Well, no, because I've told you, like, when I'm not doing competitive eating, I eat very normal.
Okay, was that a good probing informational question, or did we just set up a guest for Willie to ask out?
Yeah, it's like the
James laughs.
Interviews are not Tinder. What are we doing?
I'll be honest. I think Dan Ellie, the Power Slap announcer, I don't know what his status is, but I think he was sucked in by the 1-bite sausage.
Probably.
I think a lot of men are.
Also, is Willie's trying to drop in the business account? Like, it's your account.
Yes.
What do you?
That reminded me of someone else who did shows with us.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Sports Pig.
Of course.
What's the story for the audience who hasn't heard the Sports Pig Detroit Super Bowl trip story?
There's many, but it's there he was. It was your own business, like you and him together, but really you.
Well, it really wasn't. It was mine, and I had
he just wanted more money. He's like, just write it off.
Yeah. We were at Cheetah, a strip club in Canada, because we were like, hey, if we do strip clubs in Vegas, we're going to do gentlemen's clubs at the Detroit Super Bowl. We're not just sitting on Radio Row. We're going to go across the border. We went to this place, Cheetah, and it's not like I don't mind on a business trip if it's like, hey, Pig wants 8 shots and food and beers. But what was he spending the money on?
Girls.
The women, yeah. Like he wanted to put lap dances on the business account.
It's not even
like I can't go back to the backer and be like, why was it $700 at Cheetah in Canada? Well, Sports Pig decided to get 4 lap dances and bottle service. But it would have been more than that.
It was more the lack of understanding what writing it off means.
That too.
He's like, just give me more money, write it off. Like, what do you mean?
It's not a full refund.
Like, what are you talking about?
Okay. So with the competitive eating thing, and I know you get intense about it, so I want you to judge me on this one. So what I've discovered here, and it'll be laid out here in a cut, is I feel like the field is not growing with new competitive eaters that I see. They're not in this hot dog eating contest. So I started to roll this by Justin Watkins later. Give it a listen, and maybe it's cringy. We believe that it's a bit exclusionary.
Yeah.
Because somehow, some way, Kobayashi has just been shut out of this thing. And Chestnut is the champ, and he looks like a dominant champ that no one in the world can compete with. And we know when he first came in, Kobayashi beat him.
Right.
Kobayashi eats similar numbers, but it's weird. It's like a fight promotion.
Yep.
Like if you're not part of their fight promotion, you're not in.
Sure.
That's why there's so many good eaters outside of MLE, outside of the Shays organization. Evil organization. Well, dun dun dun. We just had our Raina Huang, who's an amazing eater, more of a volume eater than a speed eater. She just told us she's doing a 5-minute hot dog eating contest coming up in San Diego, and her goal is like 20. So she said, you know what, for 10 minutes, it's going to go down. So, I mean, then you're talking like 32, 34 maybe, right? Nikki Sudo usually wins in the 40s. So, like, she should be in the contest. We're having a lady on, MLE Schuyler, who is unbelievable. I think she's the best eater in the world, better than Nikki Sudo. Well, Molly's already done a 10-minute contest this year where she did 53.5. Every time I need more competition and to break the evil giant, do I have to now call in the Souths? I mean, is that what has to happen? You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
That the way it's set up with ESPN's partnership with the Shea brothers, they've got Major League Eating, the MLE, and the IFOCE. If you sign a contract, you have to be in their contest, and you can't do anything else. And what that means is that Kobayashi has been shut out. New male eaters have been shut out because you have to go on their tour, or that's it.
Yeah.
You can't be part of the hot dog eating contest. And there's no doubt in my mind that Mickey Sudo versus MLE Schuyler, who you just heard me say 53.5 in 10 minutes this year, and with Raina Huang in there, those would probably be the top 3 finishers. But right now, a lot of these contests with Mickey Sudo, she'll finish with 43. The next woman has 21. And then, again, Mary Bowers, poor lady, but, she'll have 9. Like, how is someone eating 9 hot dogs in the contest anymore?
No, it's preposterous.
This is like letting Tank Abbott, be the heavyweight champ at UFC.
Well,
He can't do it now. He'd have no shot.
it's more like the actual UFC, where like there might be better fighters out there, but if you don't want to sign an exclusive contract with UFC, you can't find out. I mean, that is kind of what it is.
Am I too hardcore on this?
No, it's. I mean, you want the best competitors around in every competition, and it was when we couldn't get players from Cuba into the major leagues. It's kind of the same thing. You didn't know who the best players were. Now we're finding out. International basketball players are getting involved. Now we're finding out who the best players are. You could have you lived in your little bubble before and pretended that the NBA was all the best players in the world. It's not. It wasn't. Now it is. They need to open the same thing for competitive eating.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you agreed.
We were robbed of Kobayashi Chestnut for years.
Probably 12 years.
Yeah.